Okay, so I just thought I'd do a quick rundown of what I think could be improved with the photo mode. There's a number of things that I think are wrong with it. I think, first of all, the exposure multiplier. Now, it doesn't seem to do a huge amount. Not entirely sure why. I'm changing it up and down, nothing happening. From 100 to, there we go. Okay, so 5 and up to about 20 or so. A little bit more here. But okay, so the first like 20 of this slider have an effect. After that, it sort of does nothing until you hit, yeah. So that first few bits, the field of view works fine. It's just that field of view doesn't really refer to anything in the real world, so it's very hard to get an idea of what it is. So I think that the field of view slider could be better reflected as the width of the lens, so for example a 50mm or a 70mm. The depth of field factor, again, this one doesn't seem to do anything, unless I think if you take it down to 0, nope, nothing. So we have literally a useless slider here, so that's not doing a single thing. The biggest one I have a problem with is the depth of field focus. Now you've got from here, if I take this down to the beginning, we have 1 up to 9,000. Now if I click around here, it's a very small area between 9,000 to, there's no way you can click, there's not 9,000 pixels between there, and I'm in 4K, 2.5K here, but you can't click all of those values, so it's a bit of a waste of a slider, to be fair, and you've got all this space to the side that's not used. I think personally they should be moved, but I'll get onto that in a second. But if I click the focal distance between 9,000, there's barely any difference between most of this part of the slider. You've maybe got 7,000 areas, and you have to multiple click, you can't drag left and right, which is very frustrating. And if you click this to alter, it goes up one at a time, which if you click down here and it ends up at 1, see I actually clicked where I'm actually clicking. I'm going to try and click a little bit to the right, I got 1. So if you look at the distance between my cursor and where I clicked, so here's where I'm going to try and click here, 1. It's just really inaccurate. So if I want to focus at 500, I've got no hope. And I'm on a high resolution screen. Oh, we've got 200 there. If I want to focus at 500, I've got to click and hold it one by one until I get my image in focus, which is really frustrating. Now the actual sliders themselves I think could be improved. I think if you would change these to buttons, here, and then have the value appear above the screen on a big slider, just above this timeline. So if I want to change the focus, I click on focus and a big slider appears across here, and then I can drag that back and forward, and values which are actually meaningful. So if that's 20 feet away, I should be able to click 20, drag that up and down to 20 feet or meters, whichever. I think aperture would be nice. If we get shutter speed, that'd be amazing, but I think those are the main things that I would add. Yeah, that's about it.